Steve, it might not look like it, but it is still August. We're still in pre-season, and we've got our game against Saracens on Thursday. How are you feeling about the mood in the camp and looking forward to the match?
Yeah, the boys are excited. We've done a good D session this morning, so yeah, you can see that they're all ready to play and ready for that physical encounter. And obviously, going back to Saracens last year, they taught us a few lessons going into the season, and I think we were a little bit better prepared. And yeah, pretty excited about it. And just boys get a few bumps and bruises out, and then we go out the first league game in Ulster.
So we know it's a little bit different this year. World Cup players away, but what's the thinking behind only having the one fixture? You know, why are you doing it a little bit differently that way?
Yeah, obviously we're thinner in a few areas, and obviously we've got 2 games, but we do a lot of prep and training. We've been up to the Vale, done a control session against Wales. We feel we'll be physically ready where we need to go, and at the end of the day we need to be prepared for Ulster. We feel it's the best course of action for this season. But yeah, I don't think we'll be underdone. We'll be ready to go come Ulster.
As per last year and previous years, though, it's important to remember these pre-season games are just stepping stones. They're building blocks, as it were, towards getting to that first Pro 12 game of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Like last year, we lost our games last year, but it was something we felt, even the defeat to Saracens last year, we learned a hell of a lot where we needed to be. And like you say, it is building blocks and ironing out a few creases in and around where we need to improve. And we've tinkered with a couple of things in D and in attack. And obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but ultimately, it'll be about Ulster week Friday.
I think with so many different faces in the squad this year, youngsters coming through, some of the new sign-ins, it's a good opportunity for them to be brought into the group as well and to show what they can do for the first time.
Yeah, and we'll take still a pretty big squad up to Saracens, so everyone will get a little bit of a run out, and probably the majority will play 50 minutes at the start. And like you say, everyone needs to get up to speed. You've got Brendan, Delvey, Christian. Obviously, Christian coming back, he still knows some of our systems, but getting those up to speed. And when you transfer that from the physical hit out we had up in the Vale last Tuesday, which was really good, and there were some real positives. There was a lot of things from there we needed to tidy up, so hopefully we'll be able to tidy that up going to Saracens, and then hopefully we'll be a little bit closer to Ulster.
And then looking at the start of the season, Ulster away, then Munster home, and then a few weeks off. It's a bit stop-start in those opening weeks of the season. How do you focus mentally on that as part of your preparation?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's about those 2 games. Then there's a block where we can tidy up a few things, but our major focus is those 2. We're not looking further than that, and hopefully we can get a good couple of results and good performances in around those first 2 games. Then we can have a little break and then build up into Edinburgh, then have another break. Yeah, it is a bit stop-start, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to prepare and make sure we are ready to go for Ulster first up.
We were at the Pro 12 launch yesterday, and there's a lot of talk about expectations, how it's different from last year, perhaps externally. What do you say to that? You know, when you're talking to the boys, you know, we didn't pay much attention to the criticisms last year. So what's the message to the boys this year?
Yeah, no different. It's about our performances and how we train, how we prepare for each individual game. We always want to be competitive, and I think probably when you look back at last season, probably one game where we weren't, and I was up in Northampton where we had a little bit of a run around. But yeah, there was a lot of pride in a lot of what we done last year, and obviously finishing off in the semi-final, which you can look at it as a positive. Then like you look at going to Racing, that was a real positive, but ultimately there was a bit of disappointment in losing the semi-final. But I think when you look back across the season, how young boys developed, and then even this pre-season, how Sam Parry, Mark Thomas, Dan Evans, these guys who have learned from those experiences last year. You've got Dimitri, Sam Davis, Aberfield, so there's a lot of experience to draw on from last year, and we said there'll be pain in around a youthful team going into things, and we suffered a little bit of pain last year, in particular semi-finals and that kind of thing, but on the whole it was a massive learning curve for us, and I think we'll hopefully draw on those experiences throughout the season, so we won't be worrying what other people think about us or where they're telling us we're going to end up. We just got to worry about our own performances and worry about what it means to represent the Osprey shirt properly.